Hello, this is the RPG Crawler, and welcome to another Tabletop RPG News Roundup, this time for July 6th, 2025, where each week I take a look back at the week in tabletop role-playing game news and bring you the highlights. It looks like Diamond Distributors' bankruptcy is having more fallout. They have filed to be able to sell the products they had on consignment to pay their debts, which impacts not only a fair number of comics publishers, but some tabletop RPG publishers as well, both in terms of lost stock as well as the inability to use them to distribute in the future, since you really can't trust a company that's going to do that. In fact, Paizo is now saying that some upcoming titles in their product lines will not be available at major distributors or Amazon for a while. As a result, one can only hope that this gets sorted out. On towards minor and PDF releases, Grim Press once more has a few entries into their Cavern Crawl series of dungeon crawls for 5th edition out. There is Crooked Grove, Savannah King, and Grave of Giants. They also have Unearthed Spoils number 35, Claw and Fang, a 5th edition offering that offers various beast-related things, from spells to a monk type, a background, even an adventure. The Thing from Across the Veil is a mystery adventure that starts with an investigation of a missing woman and is available in both 5th edition and Castles and Crusades versions. Mrs. Glassox's Chicken Coop is a 5th edition adventure that has a Protian brewer hiring the group to protect her chicken, while a mystery lies behind a locked door. Obsidian Vault is a sort of campaign for 5th edition in a single setting, detailing an old stockpile of ancient magical weapons now crumbling and leaking magical energies. The Siege of Wolf Hall is a 5th edition adventure where a remote hunting lodge is beset by a bandit gang, and the party is called in to help. Road Warrior is a 5th edition one-shot wherein a raven steals something from the party and the subsequent chase leads to adventure. Malamorte's Oddities Collection, A Red Death Party, is a scenario revolving around the domain of a plagued lady who must dance in her ballroom forever or die. It is inspired by the Edgar Allan Poe tale. It is available in both 5th edition as well as Candela Obscura versions. Full Steam Ahead is a 5th edition adventure with a Weird West theme, which revolves around a train robbery, allowing the party to be either part of the train robbers or the marshals defending the train. Ashes of Lemuria, Creature from the Void, is a 5th edition compatible science fantasy adventure, the first in what will be a series from the Ashes of Lemuria setting, which revolves around an alien creature landing in a small village. Terra RPG once more has a few settings detailed for 5th edition within their overall world. There is adventuring in the Duchy of Provence and adventuring in the Duchy of Mildfold. Essentials Volume 1, Monster Hunting, is a 5th edition supplement meant to bring monster hunts to that system, complete with lore, hunt mechanics, traps, a tracking system, layers, crafting rules, etc. Forgotten Sands introduces 6 desert-themed subclasses for 5th edition for a variety of main classes, some of which feature unique mechanics. Lair of the Laziest Lich is a one-shot adventure for the Shadowdark RPG, part of the Wonderful One-Shot series, which revolves around a lich that let its powers atrophy. Scott's astonishing 4-page Dungeons, The Mystery of the Moon-Haunted Spire, is a Shadowdark-compatible adventure that deals with a tower that opens when the moon is full that recently reappeared. Shadowfinder Complete Bestiary from Menagerie Press is a conversion of creatures from Pathfinder 1st Edition bestiaries, in fact all 6 volumes, to the Shadowdark RPG stats. Carcass Crawler Issue 5 is the latest issue of the official Old School Essentials zine and includes new classes and races, expanded poisons, various weapon material, cantrips, rules for level 0 characters, and more. The Hunt in Grimmelbach is an OSR-style adventure for Old School Essentials that features haunted forests and buried shrines. Then, Yokai Bestiary for OSC is a conversion of the Yokai Bestiary featuring creatures from Japanese myth and lore, this time for Old School Essentials. The Threat of the Amphibian Beast is an OSR adventure that covers a city and the surrounding villages, as well as a swamp where evil awaits. I got no idea why I'm yawning so much nowadays. Quick D6, that's Quick with a K, is a stripped-down version of the Alloyed RPG that can be used for both solo and group play, designed for fast character creation and simple mechanics. Age of Blood and Iron now has a basic version up. It is a fantasy RPG based on the medieval European period, and the basic version condenses material from the existing 2 volumes, at least the essential elements from those, into a single rule set volume. Blood Plus Gnome is an OSR-inspired RPG that deals with a post-human world where it is left to the gnomes, goblins, halflings, and half-elves to pick up the pieces and fight off the various undead and other creatures. Stormspire, Whispers of the Lost, is a Daggerheart campaign dealing with a city ruled by syndicates, riddled with cults, and so on. A Tale of Two Farms is another Daggerheart compatible adventure, this one an introductory one where there's 2 jobs available at different farms outside of town. Citadels of Hope is a gothic techno-fantasy campaign for Daggerheart, this one inspired by things like Painkiller and Van Helsing, etc. Urban Delve, Lair of the Black Feathers is a Daggerheart compatible adventure that deals with a gang of thieves within the district of Crow's Feet. The Black Death is an RPG set in the late 1300s during the Plague, which features a simple rule system and focuses on the harshness of the medieval period, but with some fantasy elements. The Secrets of Avenwana is a Call of Cthulhu scenario, which follows up on the disappearance of an anthropology professor in the 90s into a cave, which has only now been found again. Worlds of Pulp. The Skinny Complete is a pulp-based RPG designed around cinematic action, flexibility, etc. D6 Forge Noir Shadows is an adaptation of the D6 Forge universal system into a noir/urban style setting of mystery and investigations. There's 2 offerings for the Blood and Justice series for Prowlers and Paragons. Living Shadows offers 8 adventures set within the Blood and Justice campaign, while Shadows of Nocturne details various new menaces and villains. Scion 2nd Edition Tasty Bit Compilation collects the various Tasty Bit mini-offerings from Onyx Path, put out back in 2021 and 2022 into 1 volume. At least they're Scion 2nd Edition ones. Shadowrun Dealers of Death is a resource book for Shadowrun 6th World that deals with assassinations. There's a few offerings for Rifts for Savage Worlds out. They adapt the various elements of Rifts to the Savage World systems. There's Europa, Foes of Europa, and Archetype Set 6. Finally, there's Boldly Go Season 1, a campaign for the Boldly Go sci-fi RPG, offering 16 episodes. And with that, let's take a look at crowdfunding campaigns. Remember that contributing to a crowdfunding campaign should be done only at your own risk. Doing so is no guarantee of even receiving a product mentioned here is not an endorsement, but it is for informational purposes only. And we'll start with Adventures of Tesharia, Volume 3, Echoes of War, which looks to compile 4 new 5th edition adventures within the Tesharia modular campaign. The Body of a Wizard will be a 5th edition adventure featuring a wizard who is growing ill, and the party must be shrunk down and put inside of him to try to cure him. The Shattered Path will be a level 10 one-shot for 5th edition that deals with a path within a land of ancient gods and elemental forces said to have legendary treasures and traps. 100 one-shots will look to offer a set of ready-to-run adventures for any fantasy setting focused on 5th edition stats with minimal preparation. Side Quest Volume 1 will be a collection of 5th edition solo adventures with 11 of them expected, although by now there's quite a number of series that use side quests at the titles and various things, so I have to keep track of them. Ankomora, The Domain of Madness, looks to detail a new Dark Domain and associated adventure for the Ravenloft setting for 5th edition. The Broken Seal will be a 5th edition campaign setting with a focus on shattered magic, wherein broken magic has unleashed chaos. The Meridian Map is looking to be a 5th edition campaign featuring a search for a fabled treasure hoard somewhere out in the world. Biomes in Maxur Deserts is looking to fund a resource for running desert-themed adventures in 5th edition. Then The Outer Arcane Woven looks to be a 5th edition supplement featuring alien monsters and homebrew spells. Order of Criminals will be a collection of 100 criminal organizations for use with 5th edition compatible games, along with associated lore, heists, etc. Absorbed will be a collection of 150 plus rewards that can be found in oozes meant to make them more memorable. Zaret's Book of Hidden Ways will be looking to create a bunch of subclasses for every 5th edition class, inspired by old school design. Last Fleet to Vega will be a 5th edition inspired sci-fi / space opera setting set after a multi-planet apocalypse. Enchanted Loot for the Shadowdark RPG will be another set of 48 treasure cards designed by Philip Reed for the Shadowdark RPG, of course. Swords Against the Shadows looks to be a sword and sorcery tabletop RPG based on the Black Hack 2nd Edition, modified to be more genre-friendly. Chain Censor will be a zine for Ruination Pilgrimage, which includes new character classes, items, monsters, etc. There will be 2 more books funded for the Red Die system, at least if they get their way. One looking to expand the magic system, while the other offers more beasts. Finally, there's Engrim, which looks to be an adventure module for the Mothership RPG dealing with clones and AI. And on that note, I'm going to wrap things up here. This has been the RPG Crawler, my tabletop RPG news roundup for July 6th, 2025. As always, links will be below. If you like what you've seen, remember to leave a like, comment, and guided feedback, and subscribe for more RPG content. Until next time, take care and goodbye.
And if you are still watching, I would like to take the opportunity to thank my supporters, the top tiers of which are listed on the screen, without whose support I would not have been able to offer the variety of content that I have on this channel throughout the years. If you're feeling particularly generous and would like to join them, you can support the channel. There are a variety of options to do so. I have a Patreon, a Subscribe Star, as well as channel memberships enabled. If you are not in a position to contribute, simply leaving a like, a comment, or sharing my videos are all wonderful ways to help the channel grow without spending a dime, and are all greatly appreciated.